Well, we have friends and people we know of and people we don't know of that have dangerous occupations. Now, they're extreme cases, but, cases where the sport or the employment has a certain high accident rate or injury rate or consequence of work-related illness. And our heart goes out to such people, largely because should things go wrong, they're not prepared spiritually to cope with and understand the presence of God in their life that takes the suffering out. Now, you may say it takes an awful lot of faith to be severely injured or in pain and so on, to avoid most of the suffering that goes with it. And that is true. But to realize that they face such possibility and the stress, they're in this dilemma of a world in which there is no God, a reality from their point of view. Now, you might say that our reality may not be that bad until the actual trouble comes. Well, it is my experience and the experience of many that even with such troubles coming, we don't suffer anything like as much because we have a trust of faith in God, His benevolence and His care and His provision into the future. But I would also say that we take less risks because of a trust in God. We don't feel we have to panic to go into occupations that might push us to the limit, like extreme sports and so on, that bring in income and so forth. We would look to God to provide in some other safer way, trusting that we can find such, and therefore having the hope and the volition to seek out such alternatives. So those who trust in God are empowered to risk less harm. We say, well, no, I think God will provide in some other way, and perhaps our needs are not, our wants are not so great that are driving us, because we have a contentment in God. We quite simply value those things that don't require us to risk life and limb and injury and so forth, and unhappiness into the future. And our heart goes out to those that don't have this assurance of God, this trust in loving, benevolent God, always there with us, providing. And providing for our family and those we care for. And indeed, it's just that they don't realize it, and not realizing it, they therefore think and feel and suffer and act accordingly, greatly to their immediate detriment and quite long-term detriment. appreciate the value of loving and trusting God for their life and the lives of those around them. So we are greatly motivated to come to their rescue by, if you like, evangelism, but I don't mean in pressing on them some pre-existing religion, other than an awareness of the possibility of God and what that means as regards the stress of living and the joys of living that are available to us. Thank you, Dad.